Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Crescent Podcast. My name is Lucy Jessie and I run Crescent Digital Marketing. So I work with neurodivergent entrepreneurs and small business owners in Kent to create engaging and authentic online content. Big shout out to our sponsor, Purple Frog Signs, based in Gillingham, who we love. They believe that a strong brand deserves to be seen in style. So if you have any signage needs, Purple Frog Signs create premium signage that make lasting impressions. So go check out their website, purplefrogsigns.com, and look for them online and follow them, support them, give them lots of love. Today, we are going to be talking about authentic marketing because it is a bit of a buzzword, authenticity, and it does get thrown around a lot, but it isn't always used in the best way. So everyone's talking about authenticity. Just be authentic, they say, and just show up as your true self. And yes, I've been guilty of saying those things. And whilst it sounds lovely in theory, what does it actually mean in practice? Because I keep seeing people get this spectacularly wrong. So here's what authentic marketing is not. It's not oversharing every detail of your personal life. It's not posting your breakfast every morning or sharing every single thought that pops into your head. To be honest, if I did that, I'd never get any work done. And it's definitely not using authenticity as an excuse for being unprofessional. I have seen business owners share deeply personal struggles that honestly their audience doesn't need to know about. And I've watched people use the idea of being authentic as a reason to rant about clients or competitors. I've seen someone share intimate details about their relationship breakdown as authentic content for their business page. That's not authentic marketing, it's poor judgment. And the thing is, I understand where they're coming from. We're told to be relatable. We're told that people connect with stories. We're told that vulnerability builds trust. And whilst all of that is true, it's to a point. Somewhere along the way, people started confusing vulnerable with appropriate and authentic with unfiltered. So let's break down what authentic marketing actually is, because this is so important for building a sustainable business that feels good to run. Authentic marketing is about being genuinely yourself, but within professional boundaries. It's about letting your personality shine through your content without feeling you need to perform or pretend to be someone you're not. So for me, authentic marketing means being honest about being autistic and how that shapes my business. It means sharing the real challenges of running a business whilst also being a full-time carer and juggling my neurodivergence with my children's neurodivergence and how that can all clash sometimes. But it all affects my business, so I will share up to a point. It also means admitting when I don't know something instead of pretending to be an expert in everything. Social media, for example, is constantly changing and evolving, and you have to learn with it. You're never done learning. But if you notice what I'm not doing, I'm not sharing every personal detail. I'm not complaining about specific clients. I'm not using my platform to vent frustrations. There's a difference between being genuine and being unprofessional. So here's a practical example. When a client asks me to take a phone call, and I prefer video or an in-person meet for a complex discussion, I could either pretend I'm fine with phone calls, take the call, and then struggle to process all the information properly. Or B, say something like, I find I can give you a better service when I can see you face to face. Can we maybe do this over a video call to make sure that I've understood everything accurately? That's authentic. I'm being honest about what works for me, but I'm framing it in terms of the benefit to the client. I'm not oversharing about my processing difficulties or making excuses. I'm being professional and authentic at the same time. So another example, let's say I'm having a difficult week because my caring responsibilities have been particularly demanding. I could A, post a long rant about how exhausted I am, how unfair everything feels, and how I can barely function. Or B, I could post something like, this week's been really challenging, reminded me of how important it is to build flexibility into your business. Here are 3 strategies I use to maintain my client commitments, even during difficult weeks. See the difference? Both are honest, both acknowledge the reality, but one is helpful to my audience, maintaining professional boundaries, whilst the other is just offloading stress onto my followers. I did do a post recently. I'd had a challenging morning with my son, and I'd discussed it online with the point of bringing it all back to the fact that I need flexibility in my work setup, which is why I run my business the way I do. And I'm always very open about that with my clients. And so whilst I shared, some people might see maybe I shared too much, but I think I needed to share what I did in order to explain why I value the flexibility so much, why it's so important to me. Another aspect of authentic marketing is staying true to your values, even when it might cost you business. And this can be really hard. And as I just said, I'm very open about prioritizing accessibility and flexibility in my work. Some potential clients don't care about that, and that's fine. They're not my ideal clients anyway. The ones who do care about accessibility, they become brilliant long-term partnerships. I have turned down projects because they wanted me to create something that wasn't particularly accessible. And I've had people tell me I'm too picky about accessibility standards. But this is a core value for me, and compromising on it would mean I'm compromising who I am as a business owner. That's not remotely authentic. So trying to appeal to everyone means connecting with no one. When you're genuinely yourself, you repel the wrong people and attract the right ones. And that's a good thing. You're not going to be a good fit for everybody, in the same way that not everyone is the type of client that you want. So let's talk about some brands and business owners who do authentic marketing really well, because I think examples really help to clarify this. So I follow a business owner who's very open about having ADHD, how it affects their work patterns. They share strategies for managing ADHD. They're very honest about their struggles with organisation and focus, but they never use ADHD as an excuse for poor service or missed deadlines. They've put in systems that work with their brain, and they share those systems to help others. That's authentic and valuable. I know another business owner who's very upfront about being an introvert in a field that's traditionally very extroverted, and she talks about finding networking approaches that don't drain her. She's honest about preferring written communication, and she's built her own business that respects her need for quiet and solitude. And her clients love working with her because they know what to expect. That's authentic and professional. On the flip side of those, I have unfollowed business owners who constantly share content about how stressed they are, how difficult clients are, how they can barely cope. Yes, running a business is stressful. It's one of the most stressful things I think you can do. And yes, some clients are difficult. But if you're using your business platform to constantly complain, that's not authentic marketing, it's just complaining. And it does not make me want to work with them. So I can't imagine other people do. So here's what authentic marketing looks like in practice. Firstly, use your natural voice in your content. If you're naturally funny, be funny. If you're more serious and straightforward, be that. Don't try to copy or imitate someone else's style just because it seems to work for them. It won't necessarily work for you. I've seen people try to adopt this very polished and corporate tone that's clearly not who they are naturally, and it comes across as so forced and uncomfortable. I've also seen people try to be quirky and funny when that's not their natural style. It just falls flat. If I try to be funny, it's not funny. If I ever am funny, it's usually by accident and not remotely intended. But your natural voice is what makes you different from every other business owner in your field. It's what helps people connect with you specifically, not just what you do. Second, share your genuine opinions, even if they're unpopular. I've probably lost followers for saying business owners need to invest in proper marketing rather than expecting everything for free. But the followers I've kept, they're the ones who value expertise and are willing to pay for it. And I've been honest about thinking some marketing trends are pointless. Not every trend is worth following or jumping on the bandwagon for. Not every viral format translates to actual business results. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise just to seem current. Some people don't like that. They want me to jump on every trend and tell them it's brilliant. But that wouldn't be authentic, and I don't think that would be helpful to my clients. Third, be honest about your boundaries and working style. Your ideal clients will appreciate the clarity. And those who don't, they weren't right for you anyway. I'm very upfront on my website and in my client communications about how I work. I try to respond to emails within 48 hours. Sometimes I work in the evenings, sometimes I work weekends, and I even have a footer on my emails that says, I work flexibly. Please don't feel the need to immediately respond to this if it isn't within your normal working hours. Because if I send someone an email at 10 o'clock at night, I don't expect them to reply 10 minutes later. Just because I choose to work like that, other people don't. But I always tell my clients that. I'm very upfront about it. And some potential clients have seen these boundaries and decided not to work with me. They want someone who's always available, working 9 to 5 on the end of a phone. And that's not necessarily me. Because of my caring responsibilities and other things I have going on in my life, I won't be at someone's beck and call. And that's fine. Those clients would have probably made me miserable anyway. The clients who do work with me appreciate knowing what to expect. There's no confusion, no disappointed expectations, just clear professional boundaries from the start. Fourth, show the reality of your business, not just the highlights. I share the challenges of being a neurodivergent business owner because I think it helps other people feel less alone. But I try to do it in a way that's helpful, not just complaining. So I've shared strategies for working with your energy levels rather than against them. And I've talked about building a business around caring responsibilities. They are real challenges that I face, and sharing them is authentic. But I'm sharing them in a way that provides value to my audience. I'm not just venting. I'm offering insights and strategies that will hopefully help someone else in similar challenges. Fifth, and this is really important, and I had a conversation genuinely today about pricing and sticking to it. Stand by your pricing. This is so important. I see so many business owners apologize for their prices or immediately offering discounts before clients even ask. That's not authentic, really. If you believe your work is worth what you're charging, own it. People have told me I'm too expensive. I've had people try to negotiate my rates down, and my response is always the same. Admittedly, it's taken me quite a while to get here, but I am now confident in my pricing because I know the value I provide. If that doesn't work with your budget, I understand, but my rates reflect my expertise and my experience. That's authentic. I'm not pretending to be budget friendly when I'm not. I'm not apologizing for charging what I'm worth. I'm being honest about my value. So let's now talk about what authentic marketing is definitely not, because I think this is where a lot of the confusion can happen. So authentic marketing is not trauma dumping on your audience. Your followers aren't your therapists. Sharing difficult experiences in a way that helps others is valuable, but using your business platform as free therapy is not appropriate. Authentic marketing is not complaining about specific clients or situations. Even if you don't name names, ranting about nightmare clients or difficult projects, it comes across as unprofessional, and it makes potential clients wonder if they'll be the focus of your next rant. Authentic marketing is not sharing everything. You're allowed to have a private life. You're allowed to have boundaries about what you share and what you keep to yourself. Authenticity doesn't mean transparency about everything. And it's also not an excuse for poor behaviour. Claiming to be brutally honest or just saying what everyone's thinking often just means you're being rude. You can be genuine and kind at the same time. And this is the crucial bit. You need to know the difference between being authentic and oversharing. Ask yourself these questions before you post anything. Is this serving my audience, or am I just venting? Is this relevant to my business, or is it purely personal? Will sharing this help someone, or am I crossing a boundary? Would I be comfortable with a potential client seeing this? Am I sharing this because it provides value, or because I need validation? If you can't clearly articulate how your post serves your audience or relates to your business purpose, it might be oversharing rather than authentic marketing. And that leads me on to something else I wanted to address. The pressure to be constantly vulnerable. There seems to be this idea in online business spaces that you need to share your struggles, your failures, your difficulties, or you're not being authentic enough. But you don't owe anyone your vulnerability. You can be authentic without being vulnerable, and you can be genuine without being raw. Sharing vulnerability is a choice, and it should be a strategic choice that serves your audience and your business goals. It shouldn't be something you feel pressured into because everyone else is doing it. I share certain struggles because I think they're helpful to my audience. I don't share others because they're private or not relevant to my business. Both of those decisions are authentic because they are conscious choices about what serves my business and my audience. Authentic marketing is also about consistency between what you say and what you do. If you preach work-life balance, but constantly post about working 12-hour days, that's not authentic. If you talk about valuing mental health but never take breaks, that's not authentic. People can spot inconsistencies. They can tell when your actions don't match your words. Real authenticity means living your values, not just talking about them. So for me, this means being open about my boundaries and actually maintaining them. It means talking about the importance of accessibility and actually making my own content accessible. It means sharing strategies for sustainable business and actually running my business sustainably. So let me give you a practical framework for authentic marketing that maintains professional boundaries. Start with your values. What do you genuinely care about in your business? What do you stand for? These should guide your content and your messaging. Identify your unique perspective. What experiences or insights do you have that others don't? This is what makes your marketing distinctively yours. Define your boundaries. What are you comfortable sharing? What do you want to keep private? There's no right or wrong answer, but you need clarity for yourself. Frame personal content through a professional lens. If you're sharing something particularly personal, connect it to a business lesson or helpful strategy. Make sure it provides value to your audience. And be consistent. I bang on about this a lot because it's true, you need to be consistent. And authentic marketing isn't about sharing one vulnerable post. It's about consistently showing up as yourself across all your content and interactions. And remember, authentic marketing doesn't mean you have to share content that makes you uncomfortable. If talking about personal topics feels wrong for you, then just don't do it. There are plenty of ways you can be authentic that don't require vulnerability or personal disclosure. You can be authentic by having strong opinions about your industry, by sharing your expertise in your natural voice, by being honest about what you can and can't do, by standing firm on your pricing and your boundaries, by working in ways that align with your values. None of that requires you to share personal struggles or bare your soul on social media. So the next time someone tells you to just be authentic, remember it's not a free pass to share everything. It's an invitation to show up as your genuine self within appropriate professional boundaries. Authentic marketing builds trust through honesty whilst maintaining professionalism. It shows your personality without losing sight of your purpose. It's about being real without being raw. So what does authentic marketing look like for you? Where's the line between genuine and oversharing in your business? I'd love to find out what you think. Please send me your thoughts on social media, send me a DM, or drop me an email, lucy@crescentdigitalmarketing.co.uk. Until next time, remember, you can be authentically yourself without sharing everything about yourself. And that's not just okay, it's actually good business. Thank you again to Purple Frog Signs for sponsoring this podcast. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you all soon. Bye.